I mean, they're only children, what can you do? But it's possible we could loan music CDs, but is it fair to not loan juvenile materials and loan adults? I guess you could do that. Yeah, but that's
I don't have any
why.
feelings. I'm just wondering if we're changing the policy, should we just make sure, that we're not hindering ourselves from doing something we might want to do at some point. But
we could add something in there about to the
reason.
discretion of the library staff, or
Do the other libraries often lend these music CDs or DVDs out of the other libraries, or are they not as lent out as often?
well, when I did the research to find out what libraries were loaning books on CDs, all the large libraries did not do that. Of course, because it's really a boon to the really small libraries to be able to get all these materials. But since I did that research, Manchester Public Library has now allowed their books on CD to be loaned, and I honestly haven't looked at the CDs or the DVDs because it just never really came up that the staff thought that was a good idea.
I mean, the music CDs as opposed to books.
Right.
Yes.
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 What's the common loan period for, I know books can be renewed lots of times. I mean, in my library, we'll renew a book for another 30 days unless someone in the company wants it, and then we recall it. But maybe music CDs and DVDs are different?
Well, I wish I could tell you the exact loan period. I wish I had that in my brain, but since I don't do circulation, I'm not sure this is correct information, but I believe DVDs go out for a week, and music CDs, I'm not sure if it's a week or 3 weeks. I would have to double check that.
What would you
Audio books are 3 weeks.
3 weeks. What would you prefer? What would you prefer on the music and the DVDs?
Well, I don't really have a problem with the music, but I hadn't really thought about it. The DVDs, I think, it's tough because they're only supposed to
have
get,
very many.
15 to 18 circulations anyway before they're damaged, and we just sent
okay.
off to.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just
but
was
that's why,
curious.
because they're fragile.
I wasn't expressing an opinion that
Yeah.
we should. I was just asking why we singled those things out.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, I
things
would-
go out for interlibrary loan, how long are they gone?
Well, that's different too. Books, I think, go out for 6 weeks, and I think that we would loan the audio books for 4 weeks with one possible renewal. And the CDs, since I haven't really researched it, I'm not really sure how long those could possibly go at. Probably, it's hard to do anything in less than 3 weeks.
Right,
Because you figure a
right.
week delivery
To get
here and
there
a week
and
delivery
right,
there,
right.
and, you have a week to listen or read or
That would be
Whatever.
my concern, whether or not it's going to be possible to do it in a time-appropriate framework. But if you increase to 4 weeks, that makes sense. However, I think on the DVDs, I don't really have much feeling one way or another on the music CDs, but on the DVDs, I would oppose lending those out because they do have limited mileage.
they do.
And just the transport back and forth and 3 or 4 extra uses are likely to get them returned to us in an unusable state.
And usually the people that take out the books, the audio books on CD, it's usually one person, they're in their car, they're very careful with getting the CDs in and out. They don't have to, take them out with a little center post thing there. They don't have to yank them out. They just slide them out. And so usually the wear and tear on those are negligible, so.
David?
All right, I believe there's a motion on the, go ahead.
I just had one more comment. I really think that this is probably more for our own patrons' benefit.
Right.
In that a lot of our patrons that use their books on CD have exhausted our collection. And they're looking for a wider variety where they can get more books, which we can't supply, and we don't have space to store them at the moment. So it's really more for our patrons' advantage than other libraries borrowing that many of our books on tape. So I think it definitely would be to our advantage to be able to interlibrary loan books on tape so that our own patrons could get more a wider choice
Books on tape and on CD.
on CD and on tapes, yeah.
I certainly would support that, and if it becomes advisable at some point in the future to reconsider it for music CDs or DVDs, we would be open to do that, but right now, just do the books on tape or on CD.
Yep, you have a very small music collection, so it hasn't been a high priority to try to obtain more at this point, because of storage also, so.
Anything more?
Well, I have an X over item B, 1B.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to bring this up, but that doesn't seem to be really relevant anymore anyway. We wouldn't loan out our Christmas books at Christmas time anyway, but why not loan them out the rest of the year if somebody's doing crafts and things like that? So I think it says that, but I think that's the intent of B. And it doesn't have to be X'd out, but...
I would consider just leaving that as it is right now.
Because it does say Christmas books at
Right.
Christmas
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So that we will leave A and B intact and then make the change in
with
regard to
C.
C. Okay.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, I believe, and so all those in favor, making the change to C?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, ayes have it. Change is yours, Tony.
Thank you very much. Our patrons, our
they will
road
be the
warriors,
winners.
thank you very much also.
Next order of business accepted.
Could
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just ask one more question about the, your director's report, the incident that we have been, that we had in the library? Have all of our staff currently been brought up to speed on what the protocol is if they are alone in any of the annexes, or
Yes.
if they do not feel safe, making sure there's a second one? And I certainly hope we've instigated so that none of our pages will be alone.
Well, yes, the staff has talked about this, and we've gone over some of the procedures. I would suggest that if we do remain here for any length of time, that we, install panic buttons or something like that, because I know when this incident started off, the person in question was sort of intimidating a male page who, was sort of in shock about the whole thing, and then it just sort of escalated, went from him to the adult supervisor there, and the page was still sort of like, I can't believe this is happening. So I'm not sure that, somebody really young would have the wherewithal to go to the phone, and make a phone call or something like that. So
But they
there's-
should all be informed on what to do in this
Yes.
procedures. Okay.
Yes, we are. It's always scary when something like that happens. And
Especially when we're in 3 different locations, and sometimes we only have a single staff member in any one of those 3 locations.
Explain to me the panic buttons.
I think there's something under the desk or on the desk or somewhere where you can just push a button and a call automatically goes to the police department
Okay.
to, come for help. I think that's the idea anyway.
That's what I want to know. What happens when you push the button?
A silent
silent.
alarm.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
an
Yes.
audible alarm, because the audible alarm might increase the
Yes.
risk for the person.
Yes, and sometimes when there's even 2 people there and there's an altercation, not just a slightly disgruntled patient or something because they had a bad day, but, somebody that could, some situation that could turn violent, no one wants to pick up the phone and aggravate the situation by calling or calling attention to the situation at hand. So that's another plus for installing panic buttons at some other time.
However, there might be an opportunity, rather than have the staff person need to pick up the phone and say, help, there's something going on, just to establish a system of codes.
We do have that in
Right.
place, so.
So blue clouds above